Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer and I am HIV positive, and normally I do videos about HIV, but today I have two animal stories. So if you're not into animals or stories, then you might want to pass on this video. But if you like a good old animal story, I've got a couple for you. So if you follow me, you probably know I have several animals in my house. We have 4 cats, a dog, 2 rats, and 2 birds. There's a lot going on here at all times. So I'll start with my cat story. I have a dog story and I have a cat story. So last night I'm in my kitchen and I hear growling outside, and I know that growl. It's my cat Toby. He's my male kitty. He's 6 years old, and he's like a really sturdy, meaty, muscly cat, and I'd say he's probably maybe like 15 pounds, and he's the one that gets into the most trouble in this neighborhood. He just protects our house. He doesn't go beyond and pick fights, but he protects our house. And so, and I have one cat that won't come inside because of the dog, so I feed her outside. So sometimes there's food outside, which attracts other cats, and that's where the problem lies. Anyways, last night I heard the growling, and he'll come home with like fur missing and, you know, scratches here and there. So I go outside and I go right to the source of the noise, and he's on my neighbor's porch next door, and he's backing up from this other cat that's this big brown, looks Maine Coonish, who is totally puffed up. His tail is all full, like just super, like every part of this cat was puffed up to show his size. You know, they do this as a way of like scaring the other animals. So his whole body, his fur is completely puffed up. He is pissed. This cat is wound up. And I know I've seen this cat before because I was walking Finn about 2 months ago, and we passed a house, and it's the same cat, I know it is, 2 blocks away, and he comes out from his yard, from laying like near his yard, and confronts Finn like from about 10 feet away with the arched back and starts walking sideways towards us. And I'm like, wow, like look at you, like we're just walking by your house. And so as I'm walking Finn away, the cat follows us for an entire half a block. He crossed an intersection. We have like in the development, but he crossed a 4-way stop through the street following Finn like he was gonna kill him. And I thought, that is a really aggressive cat, my God. And then like a couple weeks ago, I was walking Finn and I was going through this park that we have, and that same cat came out of the bushes by the park. So now the cat's about a half a block from his house, and did the same thing. Like, you're in my park, and he arched his back, and I didn't want to even deal with him. So I actually picked Finn up and we exited the park right away because I didn't trust this cat, and he's kind of scary. So anyways, it's the same cat. So he is ready to go. And my cat is growling too. They're both growling, and I panic. I can't get to a hose that could get to them, and I don't want to walk away because it's just about to go. Like, he's about to lurch right onto Toby. I grab leaves. I'm clapping my hands and going, go away. You know, it doesn't do anything. The cat looks back at me like sort of like he notices me, but he just looks right back at Toby and starts growling like he does not care that I am there. So I throw leaves at him. Like, it's the only thing I could grab that my neighbors had. Like, there were some dead leaves on the side of their like walkway, and it just like, it made his fur just kind of flinch, but that was it. And he ignored me. There was a twig that had fallen down from the tree, and it was, you know, no bigger than my pinky. It was actually thinner than my pinky, but about this long. So I'm hitting him with it, like kind of trying to get him underneath his belly to like get him to just snap him out of his craziness, hoping that he'll take off if he feels something touching him. He ignored me completely and just looks back at Toby. And then he just went for it and attacked Toby, and it's a ball of, you know, they're screaming and hissing and they're flying in a ball. And I'm slapping my hands, stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm slapping my hands. And he goes for it again, lunges at Toby. And all I could think of is Toby is gonna be so injured, because I could just, like, it was so bad. 3 times on this porch, this cat just lunges at Toby, and they're just screaming. There's fur going everywhere, and they're flying. I mean, it's just a massive, like 2 cats just rolling all over. So they separate somehow, and they end up on my neighbor's driveway. Toby's under one car, this cat's under another. My neighbor at this point had heard me, not the one that lives in the house where this was all happening, but the neighbor next to them. So he comes out and he says, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Because I was screaming, like trying to get this to stop. Like, I didn't know what else to do. And my kids didn't even hear what was going on. They would have been out there too. They didn't hear me. So anyways, this neighbor comes out And he goes, well, let me see if I can help you. So he goes up to the side of the car. I said, my cat's under that car. This cat that's attacking my cat is under this car. And I mean, he was like a raccoon, or like a, even though I don't see raccoons being like aggressive like that, but he was like a wild animal. I mean, he was so puffed up and so aggressive and so in the moment of being like just wanting blood. I mean, it was just, he was scary. So my neighbor, Arnie, he goes, bless his heart, he doesn't have any animals. He goes, ah, and like goes right by the car and like yells, and the cats, I'm sure, rolled their eyes at him, and they were still underneath the cars. They didn't move. And, you know, even with Toby, when I tried to like reach in towards him, he growled. So I don't, you know, with Toby, if he's in that kind of space, I can't touch him. Like, he would probably attack me. Like, he can be scary too. So I didn't, and he's strong. Like, I do not want to mess with Toby when he's in that frame of mind. So this cat's underneath the car, and Arnie goes and gets a broom, and by this point his wife's come out and his daughter's come out, and I'm shaking, like, because it's awful to watch your cat get attacked. And so he gets the broom, and I said, here, let me try to do it. So the cat comes out from underneath the car finally, and I take the end of the broom, and the bristles were towards the cat, and that cat attacks the bristles. He's biting them. He's biting them and pulling backwards and growling, and I mean, he is puffed up. And I pull the broom away again, and Arnie's going, be careful, be careful. I'm like, I know it was like a wild animal, I swear to God, like a bobcat. And so I'm pushing him again, and he's totally growling, and he bites it again, like he's attacking the broom. He's like hissing and, you know, attacking the broom, and I'm like, oh my God. So, okay, so I finally get him pushed away. And he's going, basically I'm pushing him towards my house because I want to get him away from Toby. At the same time, my sweet new kitty, who we call, well, he's chipped as Sawyer. My other daughter calls him Dexter, and a lot of times we just call him Kitty. He is just the sweetest thing ever, and he wanted to see what was going on, because that's him. He's just curious, and he comes out with this little bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling, and I look over, and the cat is just, he is ready for blood again, and he's within a foot of our new kitten, who is like trying to assess what, he's not getting it at all. He's just like, hello. And the cat was, I swear, a split second from attacking our kitten. And I got that broom and I swung it, and I didn't hurt the cat. I promise you I didn't hurt the cat, but it was swift enough to get him off our property. And he ran across the street, and so I went to go get the kitten, who had now run around the corner. He was spooked, like he all of a sudden got what was going on. Thank God he was not attacked. And so I go to grab him, and I pick him up, and I'm like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm like petting him. As soon as we get right in front of our house, he gets a glimpse of the cat across the street and freaks out in my arms, scratches me, and he's and he runs around the corner again, because he seemed to understand that there was something to be very scared of. And I've never seen him react like that. He's never ever acted scared about anything. So he obviously had figured it out, and he knew that he needed to be fearful. So anyways, I was able to go get him again and put him back in the house, and then lock the cat door so he couldn't sneak out through the garage again. And finally Toby came out from underneath the car, and my daughter had picked him up. He was calmed down at that point. He actually, I cannot believe it, he didn't have an injury on him. I can't find anything on him. So that was really amazing. And I know people are going to write underneath here and say, you should not let your cats out. Well, these are cats that have been out their whole life, and I live in a really safe neighborhood, and this has actually never happened to this extent. Like, that cat's, I think this is the first time he's ever come over here. Like I said, sometimes Toby will have at it with other cats who come around. Have at it, is that the right thing to say? He will fight with other cats that come around our house who are trying to get to our food. I know that's for sure. But our cats love being outside, and I just couldn't lock them up. I mean, at this point, they're so used to it. And it's beautiful around here, and I'm really lucky where I live as far as like cars and stuff. We live right in front of a stop sign, so people go really slow right in front of our house. So really the only other thing is cats outside sometimes, and this is what happened. There's really not a whole lot I can do about it. Today I drove up to the house where I saw that the cat had been the first time when I'd walked Finn, and I was on the phone with my mom, and I said, I'm just going to go and see if this is the house, because when I drove up, it's a corner house, it's 2 blocks away. They had all their windows open, they had their front door open, and they have a screen. So I was just like, this is easy. I can just knock on their door and we can talk through the screen. And as soon as I got out of my car and I walk around towards their driveway, this cat comes out of the bushes and greets me on the sidewalk. He was making full eye contact with me and like protecting his walkway. I was not about to mess with him, since I saw how he acted last night and I didn't want him attacking me on his front walkway. So I let it go, and my mom just said, you know, there's really nothing you can do about it. Cats, there's no laws with cats, and you just have to protect your own cats, basically. So yeah, that was a really terrifying experience, and I'm really glad that my kitten is okay. So that's the cat story. Okay, so here's the dog story. So this is about Finn. I had taken Finn out for a walk, I think it was about a week ago, and we were just going around the block. So we go around and we come through our park, and I see this boy across the street with a pit bull, and I'd say the boy was probably like 4th grade maybe. You know, he probably didn't weigh more than like 65 pounds. And this pit bull was like silver and a beautiful dog for sure. But Finn is, you know, Finn's a small dog, and Finn acts like an idiot when he's on a leash. He is really an aggressive dog. He's protecting me or whatever. He just doesn't, his demeanor is completely different when he's off leash and I take him to like the dog beach. He's really submissive. He just wants to play with everybody. He tries to hump everybody, and he lets everybody sniff him. He'll stand there and just get real like, yes, everybody sniff me. I am not going to be the aggressive one. But when he's on a leash, he'll spin in circles and bark and like, you know, kick the grass up with his feet. He acts ridiculous. So I see this boy across the street with this dog, and I'm thinking, okay, well, whatever, they're across the street. So we're walking our way, and all of a sudden I look over across the street, and the dog is overpowering this child and pulling to cross the street, and he's doing it like the kid can't stop him. So the kid's trying to pull back, but the dog is, all I see in my mind is like a frothing pit bull coming towards my dog. Maybe he just wanted to play with him, I don't know. But Finn is such an aggressive dog with the leash on, and when he saw the dog coming, okay, so I'm putting my arm out like this to the dog going, you've got to stop your dog, stop your dog, stop your dog. And at the same time, I'm pulling Finn towards me, and I got in this like, I don't know, in that moment, I pulled Finn up in his harness and he slipped out of it. So now Finn's loose. So Finn has a really bad energy right now. He's extremely aggressive. So he doesn't get that this dog could maul him. And so Finn is going for the dog, and I'm trying to get in between the two. Finn's going at the dog's face like he's puffed up. His back's puffed up, you know, all this fur sticking up on his back. And I'm yelling at Finn to stop, but Finn doesn't listen to me when this is all happening. He's just like, all he can think of is, I need to protect my owner, I guess. I don't know. But so he's going after this dog, and I'm just thinking, this dog's going to take one bite of Finn, lock his jaw, shake him to death, and he's going to die right in front of me. Like, I mean, this is, of course, my worst fear come true. And thankfully, I was able to, like, that same neighbor, it was so ironic, drove up at that moment and said, are you okay? And at that moment, it was really weird that he got involved in both of those. At that moment, I was able to get Finn into my arms, and I feel so bad. In the moment, I told the boy, I said, you should not be walking this dog if you can't control him. And so he's trying to talk to his sister across the street to ask her for help. She was probably like 13 and would definitely have more control of the dog. Of course, my daughters made me feel bad for telling the boy that. But in the moment, I was so like freaked out. And really, if you can't control a dog, you shouldn't be walking that dog. And again, I have no idea if that dog was coming over to play or attack Finn. But with the way my dog went at him, he could have very easily snapped into that mode, because my dog was being an idiot and was, being aggressive. So even if he wanted to play, he might have, that bad energy was there from my side, from my dog. So that was terrifying. So I came in the house and was just like shaking. So anyways, those are my 2 animal stories. There's always something going on in this house. Usually it's always just sweet and fun, but every once in a while, especially I guess if we go outside and encounter other animals, it's not always so sweet and fun. That's all. I just wanted to share those stories with you guys. I hope everybody's doing well out there, sheltering in place. Make sure you drop a like on this video. I leave you with some cute little video footage of baby kitty. be in a car. I'm in Joey's car right now. She just came in here with me. She's just super happy right now. Oh, baby kitty. Oh, look at this stress. Okay, this never happens. Oh my goodness, look at you. What a sweet girl. She hears his bell. He just had to come find us. Clearly unaffected. Toby's an old man. He does not want to play with you.